Hi everyone, Jaymes Mansfield here bringing you yet another video. Now I have to say, I had some weird things happen to me right now which got me feeling very, very nostalgic, okay? There's some big changes happening in my life at the moment, and it got me thinking about my old life back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it got me thinking about the person I could have been. Now, in case you don't know, I may have mentioned a few times on this channel, I used to actually work at Sephora. I was a crew member, I believe is what they were called. I was on the performance floor, and I like to think I was pretty damn good at my job as far as JCPenney in Milwaukee, Wisconsin goes. You know, I was the JCPenney line of Sephora's, the same as Manny Emiway. That's where he started. And I was on the course of working my way to a brick and mortar location or inside Mayfair Mall, which is where you want it to be, where the action was. So, I thought, what would I look like had I never gone on Drag Race and was still working at Sephora? Like, what would my daily routine be? So I decided, let's do it. Let's experiment. Let's imagine what my life would have been like and what I'd be doing every single morning now in 2024. Because I imagine I'd still be there. I like to think I'd probably be managing the Sephora by now, hopefully. God, I hope so. I hope I wasn't fired. But, you know, in this universe, I probably excelled in the company, and I'm probably managing at this point. So, in order to be a manager, you have to look the part. So, here's how I would start. Like any good employee at Sephora, I would be using a foundation that is not sold in the store. It's someone else's foundation from another line because that's what we all did. I think back at that time it was MAC. All the girls are wearing MAC that worked on the Sephora floor, and we lied and said it was KVD or NARS or something. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to be using Dermablend Face and Body today for my foundation. Oh, before I start though, I have to block my eyebrows out because I could see myself having no eyebrows still. I had no eyebrows at this point in my life. I was still doing drag, and I was still doing that thing that everyone was doing. We all copied Miss Fame. We all shaved off half of our eyebrows, or all together our eyebrows, in order to have more room on the human face for makeup. Not necessary to do any of this stuff. It was before a lot of us discovered Prozaid, but here we are. I probably would still be doing this because news travels slow in Milwaukee, okay? It's still 1997 over there, so I probably would still be doing this. I'd have no actual eyebrows to speak of. Little tiny sad nubs of hair, like right here and right here. While I do this, I'm going to do my foundation now. So, using Dermablend Face and Body, again, use a foundation that's not sold in the store. That is key. That is the secret. I'll put this on my face, no primer, because I still probably wouldn't believe in primer at this point in my life. And no, I did not shave, because I'm gonna go into work as myself, as Jaymes, member of the crew, the performance crew. I forget what they called us. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been so many years. I'm so far removed, and they've probably changed the terminology at this point. They like to think of it as like, you're an actor in a show, and they'd call it the stage. And I thought it was the queerest thing I've ever heard, but I just went with it because I was drinking that Kool-Aid, baby. I was all in when it came to Sephora, because that's where I wanted to be, because I had worked some shitty jobs up until that point. And this was pretty much like a shining moment in my life. The fact that I worked my way to a Sephora after working at banks, after cleaning floors, after canvassing door to door, selling windows and roofs. Can you imagine me selling roofs and windows to people? I still can't believe half the shit that came out of my mouth going door to door and like Whitefish Bay. Like, yeah, looks like your roof needs some tiles on it. Like shingles? Shingles. Needs some shingles. It's loose there. Gonna have to get a new roof soon. Like, yeah, not knowing a goddamn thing about what I was saying, I just regurgitate anything that my supervisor told me. And for the most part, a lot of them would believe it. Because what I found out about that job is like, you think you don't know anything about roofs and windows and things like this? Most people that own homes know nothing about that either. So if you tell them something's wrong, usually they believe you. I remember my humiliation going to a house that had a Pella truck in front of it. Pella was like a window dealership, like our main competitor. And I went through there, knocked on the door, and like offered my services, and he literally just like scoffed like, and pointed to his truck. I was like, right. Have a good day. I was guilty of skipping houses. That was my way of getting around that. I hated that job so much. Anyways, foundation is mostly there. I feel like our eyebrows are almost there, but we're gonna skip ahead to some other steps. Again, I'd probably be using some kind of influencers like makeup line, so I imagine I'd still be using Manny MUA, the Lunar Beauty palette. I'd probably be using that, and I'd probably be using way too much of it because I was not afraid of makeup. I would throw way more than I needed to on, just to make it look like I was wearing makeup. Because I figured if I'm wearing lots of makeup, people are going to think I know a lot about makeup. Which is a pretty good theory to have in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because most of the people that came to that counter knew nothing about makeup. And I feel sorry for anyone that came up there to get a Sephora makeover from me, because you usually left looking a fool. Yeah, we're going to just coat that on a nice, thick contour. And I'd probably still be doing the 3, basically what they had taught us in Sephora training, which I ate that shit up. I was all in for it. Like, they showed us all the little videos of, like, all the makeup owners and them talking about their brands, most of whom I don't even think are in the store anymore, or aren't as mighty and popular as they used to be, like KVD and Too Faced and all those other ones. Oh my god, Benefit. Girl, the way they used to make us hawk Benefit. And nobody wanted it. That was the hard part, is like trying to get people to buy their version of Dip Brow that came with the brush that was on top of it. Baby, we couldn't give that shit away. Nobody wanted it. Everyone was sold on Anastasia, and as far as they were concerned, it was the only brand that could do that. Now I have way too much contour on. We're pretty much there. We're almost there. I'm gonna put a little coat of glue here. And if you can hear a fan going, it's because it is 120 degrees here in Las Vegas. That's right. We broke a record, baby. It is our hottest summer yet, and I'm dying. The air conditioning is only working on one level of the house, the bottom level. The second floor is unlivable. So I'm not filming in my studio today, as you can probably tell. And it's a mess right now because we're in the process of moving. Like I said, big changes happening in my life. We are downsizing a lot because it turns out I'm not a house person. It's way too much space and I've acquired way too much. So I want to downsize and live a lot smaller. I've learned this about myself. I'm accepting this about myself. I spoiled myself and spent way too much money on rent, and I don't want to do it anymore. This next half of the year is the year of saving, and I mean it. I'm going to hold myself to it. I just got done looking at new places. I'm excited for this one I just applied for, so hopefully when I come back with an update, I'll be in a brand new space, or at least in the process of moving into a brand new space. I hope it looks really, really bare next time you see me in this, or you don't see me in this place at all. I know I'll be using a lot of blush, probably a really, really peachy blush. Knowing me, my style hasn't really changed a whole lot from then. It's just little elements that kind of like creep its way in. So I'd be using like the peachiest blush I could find. Probably not that bright, because it would have been too much for Wisconsin. They would have looked at me like I was a clown. It'd probably be this one, Peachy, from the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism Blush Palette. And this is the way I was taught to apply it. You smack it on your cheek like that, on the apple like here, and then move it slowly up. So you look like Baby Jane, you know? I don't know what I was thinking, like all these like old school techniques. It probably would have been like me watching Pathé videos and thinking, I'm gonna look just like Marilyn Monroe when I do this. Like Mamie Van Doren, I'm like all of them, okay? Little do I know, I look just like Barbara Nichols, but you couldn't tell me anything. All right, this is looking pretty good so far. Yeah, lips. While we wait for our eyebrows to dry so we can do our eye makeup, which is really the pièce de résistance of this look. I would probably be using a lip brush at this point. I know that probably would have like caught on, and like I probably would be using eyeshadow for my lips too, because I was doing it back then too. And it'd probably be any old thing from a display, because I was gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was disgusting. I'm a disgusting person. I would use makeup from the displays to do my makeup, not thinking anything about bacteria on my body or my well-being. I fully would have just used it. YOLO. If it gets me, baby. I probably would be bold at this point in using red, so I'm gonna use Blood Moon from this Kimchi palette, from the Holy Sharks palette. And if you want to save 15% off at Kimchi Chic Beauty, use my code, JayMesMansfield. Look at me, saving you money, even in this alternate universe. I'd like to think I'd still have a code. I start to wonder what I would be doing still. I'm sure I'd still be doing drag. It'd probably be rotted. Like, my drag would be so rotted had I not gone on Drag Race. It wouldn't have pushed me to elevate at any point. I would still probably have the same face. But like, thinking about it, like I probably would still be like working at Hamburger Mary's for like $100, or like doing $25 bookings at other local bars, and working probably like, you know, every other 4 months, because that's kind of how drag bookings were. And probably still doing YouTube to varying degrees of success. Maybe I would have started doing movie reviews or something. I feel like I was doing a lot of that at that time, because I was trying to be like the drag queen Lindsay Ellis. And forgive me, on Jaymes Mansfield 2, I was trying to do more like movie reviews and things like that. That was the plan for this month, until I was told I had to move. Plans change, and hopefully we get to it in the new place. I want to get to it. We will get to it. I'm going to make that a point. But for now, if you enjoy video game streams, that's where I do it, on Jaymes Mansfield 2 and on my Twitch. So be sure and check that out. All right, lips are lined, and they're lined to my actual lips, because that's how I used to do it back when I worked there. I didn't overdraw too much. Like, I think I just do a little bit over my bow, but that's about it. I wouldn't go too crazy. I would be using a lipstick they did not sell there, and I'd be telling them it was Bite Cosmetics. Like, I don't know why it doesn't look like that on you. That's how I wear it. It's weird how things look on different people, you know? We're using MAC. Because I used a lot of MAC when I worked there, believe it or not. I was under the impression, I was like, this is the end-all be-all. This is the greatest makeup company that ever existed, and Sephora does not have it. Oh yeah, and it's a little lopsided. That is truly how it would have been. Baby, and I would thought I was serving like this so far. Okay, so eyebrows feel pretty dry. Let me just do one more coat of glue before we go over and cover them. I've never done this where I block half. I don't know how it's gonna look. It's probably gonna look so rotted, but you know what? You're gonna suspend disbelief, okay? This is a high-budget Hollywood production right now, okay? This is the prosthetics from, like, The Hours or Jurassic Park or something like that, you know? Meryl Streep-level prosthetic work. Nicole Kidman-level prosthetic work happening right now. Just suspend your disbelief, okay? We go to the movies to believe. Highlighter. I'd have to highlight my face. I'll use the Kimchi Chic the most concealer, although realistically, I probably would just be using whatever was available at the store. Because I usually did my makeup when I got there in the morning. I never actually sat at home and did it or rode the bus like that because I was afraid to ride the bus there with makeup on. I'd put it on when I was at the store and take it off before I left work. Because I still live in Wisconsin, okay? I'm not crazy. You don't want to ride public transit with a face full of makeup. Like, I would have got hassled so much. And, you know, I'm a lover, not a fighter, so... You know, I always pick my own safety first. I always put myself first when it came to that. I would scrub my face raw before I took that bus home or before I walked home, depending on how the weather was. Because, baby, those winters, even though I lived fairly close to the mall that I worked at, bitch, you would be crazy to walk there in that snow. Like, by the time I got there, the black uniform I have on, like the black pants, black shirts, there would be salt stains all the way up to my calves. Like, no. The salt they use to plow the streets, girl, I would look like the design scheme at Sephora with the black and white stripes going down my pants. No. It would look like I just escaped prison, like full-on burglar outfit from The Sims. Alright, now, of course, I would set it with something. I'd probably be using some kind of white, probably MAC still. Again, like, I'd be blowing all my paychecks on MAC, because that's what I did back when I worked there. So I'm going to be using NC10 and adding way too much highlight to my face. And I'd probably still be doing it like this, like the old way you were taught to do it in the beauty books. Like, they always tell you to do, like, a whole cheek here. Just fill it up. Yeah, I'd probably be doing a whole swoop of the cheek like that. And then doing the chin. I look like Baby Jane. This is how I would paint my face. Like, I was out of my mind. Now it's time to cover the eyebrows. I'm going to use Dermablend. I wouldn't actually have to use this because, like, again, I'd actually have them shaved. But we're suspending disbelief. Remember that part? That's what's happening right here. Now, when it came to Sephora, I remember being there. Like, I was fully into it. Like, I was there when the store was built. Like, fully on built. Me and that first crew actually put that store together. Like, it was a big deal that the Southbridge Mall where I worked got a Sephora inside that JCPenney. Like, I took that shit seriously because I helped put together those shelves. I stocked them. Like, we were proud of being there. Like, it's really weird, like, when you work in that kind of dynamic, like, how invested you are into it, especially when, like, you're invested that deep into it, you know? I remember, like, dreaming about the fact, like, I could be manager one day because, baby, I can do makeup. I know eventually they're going to give me the keys to that stock room, and I'm going to pick through all of the gratis before anyone gets a chance to. This is the things I look forward to. Alright, set my face. Alright, now knowing me, and knowing what was available to me at that store, I probably would have been using Anastasia Dip Brow, but I don't have it. And despite the fact that I was on All Stars and I got a huge supply of it, I gave a lot of it away. I gave almost all of it away, honestly. So I'm going to be using Trixie Cosmetics. It's going to be the black hot liner from Trixie Cosmetics. And we're going to draw on our eyebrows with this. And then I'm going to fill it in with eyeshadow to make them a little more brown. Because I always would do that. I don't know why. Ooh, God. I don't miss this. I can't believe I used to live like this. I used to wake up in the morning and think, yep, this is the look. I'd be like, look at how much more space I have for eye makeup now. Like, I look like the old school, like, #1 ponytail Barbie with this eyebrow on. That's probably what I was channeling. That's probably what I thought I looked like. Not knowing I look like Bride of Chucky. It's weird how, like, muscle memory falls back into place. Like, I know exactly where to take my eyebrows from just doing it for so many years. It's not even that far off from my drag makeup back then. Like, this is actually pretty much how I used to do it. I used to look at it and like, yeah, this is enough. That's totally enough. If memory serves, I feel like I've been using the wrong kind of brush and an eyeshadow to like make my eye a nude eye. And doing it completely wrong. So we're gonna use a brown. I'm gonna be using the mug. I'm sure Manny loves that I'm using his palette for this. But the wrong kind of brush to do it. And I would probably be doing like following the crease right here. And just going into that socket here. Because it was either this or a smoky eye. I learned how to do a smoky eye when the trainers for Sephora came to teach us. And I just never looked back. I taught everyone had that damn smoky eye. Although, personally, I never liked to wear it myself because I thought it made me look like I worked at Hot Topic. And that's competition. They sell makeup there too. In my eyes, I was serving 1950s pinup, okay? I was an ad model for Benefit Cosmetics, despite never using it and never hawking it. The way they used to have us try and shill that. Oh my god, when beauty influencers used to have palette collections with Sephora, like Sephora brands, who was it that Jaclyn Hill had the collaboration with? Was it Becca? I feel like it was Becca. Yeah, it was. It was Becca. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm almost positive it was. I remember we got it early, and our manager, who didn't know shit about makeup, and she had no idea who Jaclyn Hill was, put it out for display, for sale. And we ended up selling like 6 or 7 palettes of it before it was actually supposed to go out. And one girl even saw it because I didn't really know who Jaclyn Hill was at that point. She was like, "You guys have it out right now? Is it okay if I buy it?" I'm like, "Well, do you want it or not?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, I'll bring it up. I don't care. I'm not going to fire me." But that was just the thing. It's like, I remember people working there that probably shouldn't have been. Young ladies that only wore BB cream and a little bit of mascara. Trying to sell girls that legitimately wear lots of makeup products and just not working out. You could see right through it. Like, you have to know a little bit. This is literally my drag face from like circa 2016. It's frightening. Ew. Ew. Why did I do this? Okay, what else would I be doing horribly? Let's see. I probably would still be doing the cut eyebrows. So let's do that. A little bit of concealer. Clean up under the eyebrow. And it's most important that the eyebrow is uneven. It's like the most important part of this look. Let's do our nose contour, shall we? Because this hasn't been humiliating enough. Put our line on the nose. Like, I would totally contour my nose, even though I really need to, because like, my nose is fine. But I feel like it has to have, everything on my face has to have makeup on it. Like, no inch should go unturned in this, okay? Like, everything needs makeup. And I have a line that was far too big and far too thick. That's like you're literally just contouring the shape of your nose. If it seems like I didn't know what I was doing, you're absolutely right. We had one girl that was in training with us that actually had worked for MAC who was a very good makeup artist, but then she quit right before we opened the store because she didn't get the manager position, which, in all honesty, she should have gotten it. But I think like a girl that had managed like a Subway or something ended up getting that position because she had the manager experience. It's very weird how stores work. Okay, and the one thing from Sephora I probably would be using is Fenty. So, I'm going to use Fenty right now. This one is the Girl Next Door Chic Freak Kilowatt palette. I'm going to use this to add a little highlight to my brow. Because they always like emphasize, like, use at least 1 to 2 products from Sephora so you can sell something. And if you don't, find something equivalent to it that you can lie and say it's that. So I was always constantly recommending Smashbox, KVD, and like Tarte. Because I really didn't use any of the makeup there. Nobody I knew did. Like, anyone that worked there was all using something else. Is that something you did? You work at Sephora or any makeup company like Ulta or something, like, do you wear any of the makeup that's actually sold in the store, or are you shopping outside of it? Because I always was. I don't know, I just like to try other things, and like most of the time when I was there, like a lot of the makeup would not work for me, for the stuff I wanted to do. Like, it'd be very faint, or it just wasn't enough. Oh my god, and selling the Sephora brand makeup was a pain. It's gotten a lot better now, but back in 2016 when I was selling it, girl, chalk. Like, the formulas have vastly improved, but like, you couldn't give that shit away. Like, it was so hard trying to convince people to buy it, and they were so adamant that we pushed that brand first. And people would know, like, they'd say, "Oh, I'm in the line for like a red lipstick." I'm like, "Okay, I have the perfect one for you." You walk them right to that Sephora tower, and they're just like, "You know what? I think I'm just gonna browse around by myself." I'm like, "Okay, let me know if you need anything." Like, they know. If you knew makeup, you knew. All right, time to cut my crease. yes, I would cut my creases there. And I'd be using some kind of concealer. So we're going to use Kimchi. And I'd be using a lot of it. And then wiping all the excess off. Oh god, hello darkness, my old friend. Thinking about some of the brands they used to push us to like really promote because they probably, I don't know why. I think probably just corporate wanted us to push them a lot, maybe because the sales in them were down or something. Who knows? I don't know the back end of that. I just know the orders they fed me and the brands we were supposed to promote and hawk the most because they wanted sales there. So it was always Bite. Bite was one they wanted us to promote constantly, which actually was pretty good lipsticks. I used the coral one from that for Drag Race promo. That was my lipstick for that. I remember the sad little, like, they wanted us to do like little like social media things where we like twist up our makeup, and I twisted up my Bite lipstick, and it was the saddest little nub of lipstick left because I had overused it, and I think it actually got used for like social media promo stuff. I'm like, who watched this and thought that looked good? Like a little sad like little nugget of lipstick. Like, this bitch wears makeup, and when you look at that promo, no, she does not. But Bite, Shiseido, that skincare line, they always wanted us to promote that. Ulla Henderson, they always wanted us to promote that. Oh my god, Benefit. They practically would break into our rooms at night and threaten us with a crowbar if we didn't get sales in Benefit. And Color Effects, which was a hard sell. Because I think, like, at that time, the thing about it was, like, you're supposed to use the little pigments and mix them with, like, any kind of face cream to make, like, your own tinted moisturizer. But again, like, we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Nobody here wants to add that kind of stuff to their morning routine. Like, no one has time for that. No one's doing that here. But, like, we try and, like, sell them on the science of it, and people would not buy it. They're just like, yeah, I'll just take some Clinique's cream, please. But there were some things that I did like. Like I said, I liked Bite. I always used Smashbox. Smashbox was great. NARS. NARS was always good too. What was it called? I remember like thinking so much, and like before, thank goodness I got on Drag Race when this happened. That one, like, wasn't it Smashbox that had like the palette of all the creams, like the blue, red, white, and you're supposed to like be able to mix them up, and they made like a dupe of it for. The other one. Who was it? I forget. Makeup Forever? Makeup Forever. That was it. They had that big color palette of like colorful creams that you could mix up, and it was like $125 or something. I remember thinking like, I could use my in-store credit and save up like 5 paychecks, and I could buy it. Or I could buy the shitty dupe that was on Amazon, which I did. And that was the one I ended up getting and using for like years. Never got the Makeup Forever one. But I remember I think I saw like Alex Faxon or somebody had it because they got it in PR, and I thought like, I could be making so many sugar skulls in my face right now. And as you're thinking to yourself, like, James, this just looks like drag makeup. Well, let me tell you one thing. When you've met some of these beauty influencers in person, bitch, they're in drag, okay? They are fully made up like they're about to do Phantom of the Opera. Like, there is so much makeup on their faces. Like, they are done up for pictures. Like, they're not going to get got by Getty, okay? This is actually pretty spot on to how it used to be. Now I gotta do eyeliner. I would probably be using the same eyeliner I was using, which was like Wet n Wild, which I don't think I have anymore. I don't have that one now. I have NYX, which is a pretty close dupe to that. Actually, it's a better version of the Wet n Wild I would be using. And I'll be using this and lying and saying it's KVD because it was in store and that's what you had to do. They're like, yeah, it's KVD. I never leave the house without it. It's so good. Actually, you know what I need? Do we have any Scotch tape? You grab me one? Alright, now this is my Amber Atkins and Drop Dead Gorgeous showing off my Vaseline moment because this was my pride and glory at Sephora when I used to do those one-on-one consultation makeovers. Scotch tape. Never leave the house without it. Yeah, Scotch tape. I would take it, and the way I would explain this to people, some women, their heads would explode. They would think to themselves, there's no way I could put tape on my eye and I can get winged eyeliner perfectly with it. And bitch, when I tell you I would tape these women's faces up and change their lives, not for the better, but at least they'd be applying their eyeliner, but I could not guarantee it still looked good. Now the way I would do it was I would always overdo it because I loved Big 50's wing liner. And I remember putting wing eyeliner on women like this at consultations, thinking I had gotten away with like the biggest dupe in the world. Because like no one in Wisconsin wears this much eyeliner unless they're going to like a rockabilly festival. But my ulterior motive was to just get people to wear way too much makeup. It always was. Because if they wear more makeup, they buy more makeup. I mean, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Like, you want to create people that want to consume and buy way too much makeup, because then you're constantly selling. You sell more products. I'd be sitting there selling the philosophy like, yeah, don't be afraid to wear makeup, honey. Like, it's okay. And it is okay. God damn it. Now that I think about it, like, this wasn't an ulterior motive at all. Like, this is just smart business. And honestly, trying to make the world a little more beautiful. Maybe I was doing something more important than I thought I was. Honestly, I was onto something there. All right, now let's see if it actually worked. Because sometimes it was a give and take. That side did. That side somewhat did. I had to fix a little bit. But you know what? It wasn't always perfect. But I always would sell that, especially if like it didn't work entirely. You know what? It's okay because now you have a full guideline to go off of. You can just fill it in a little bit more. And next thing you know, that bitch be walking away from my station looking like divine. And I remember it vividly. Some people would be like, oh, but that's just too much makeup. It's like, there's no such thing. There is no such thing as too much makeup. And you know what? Fucking A, right there ain't. You know what? There is no such thing as too much makeup. Now, seeing as how daring I would be, I'd use a little brown. And then do that. How about that now? Now she's got a dark crease. Now she's Marilyn fucking Monroe. How about that? And blend it poorly. That is the secret. Yeah, look at it. This is literally my Drake makeup. This is my season 9 Drake makeup. Except, huh?
It was less than that.
Shut up! It was not. Was it really? It probably was. The lips would have been bigger. At least give me that. The lips would have been bigger and nuder. Because for some reason at work, I'd wear big, bold, colorful lips. But when I had drag gigs, I'd be in the nudest lips possible. I'd be in like fucking gecko bright guppy pink. See-through, clear lip gloss practically. Like for some reason, I thought, you know what? My lips have to be as light as humanly possible when they're using a floodlight to like spotlight us at Lacage or something. And it would be like a Home Depot spotlight, honey. Like, it would fully wash you out. Like, you had to slap makeup on. And for some reason, I just didn't. Okay. Now. Shimmer. I can't remember what beauty guru it was, but I, like, took it to heart. To, like, the nth degree. Where they're like, just use your finger and apply it to your lid. And that's how you should apply your shimmers. And, honey, when I tell you, I took it and ran with it. Oh yeah. I look evil. Like, I fully look evil. Alright, now under eyeliner. Believe it or not a whole lot's changed. I still kind of do the same thing. So, I'd probably just put a line under my eye and smoke it out. No white, nothing. Just, you know, fill in the waterline with black and smoke it out. Because even to this day, this is still something I do. And this is MAC Feline, in case I didn't tell you. Again, using MAC products. And lying and saying it was something else. Probably like Urban Decay or something. I can't remember what the matte black in that was. Everything had shimmer in that company. Like, they loved shimmer. And for me, it's like a drag queen's worst enemy because it shows texture. And everything about me is texture. From my eye bags to my eyebrows, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's kind of hot. Can you imagine me walking the Sephora like this? Yes, I could. Now, I have to do contour still, so I think I would just use a little bit of what was left over on the brush and do my forehead. Now, to finish off this look, I'd use like a small pair of lashes, which I'll probably go and find and put them on, but this part I'm most excited about because I have a feeling had I been like, you know, a shift supervisor or something at Sephora, you know, I would have worked my way up the ladder, honey. I'd be saving up every paycheck I had and every bonus and every bit of my tax return to get a human hair wig. Because I'm certain I would have been on that train. So I have here a full lace 613 human hair wig, because of course it'd be blonde. Or, you know, floor length black hair, depending on how I felt that day. But I'd be a wig wearer. Oh, I already know I would be. You know, roots and all. You know, this is truly who I would be. I'd say, you know what, these roots make me who I am. Like the full spook. You wouldn't know what I was from behind. I mean, you look at me from behind and think, okay, that could be Margot Robbie. Samara Weaving, perhaps, and then I turn around. Lucius Malfoy. All the way. But bitch, I'd be such a wig wearer. I already know. I probably would have nails too, but like press-on ones. I wouldn't be able to dedicate to like full-on everyday nails because I like to eat. And they get in the way. Nails get in the way. I haven't figured out how to function like that yet. And I'd probably be doing something fun. I remember in beauty salon, we used to like put like little fascinator hats on. I'm pretty sure I'd be a fascinator hat kind of girl. So I have here a fashionable beret. Okay, I mean, this is it. All right, I'm gonna throw on my uniform and my eyelashes, and I think I'll be right back with our final look. All right? Be right back.
It's me, J Cool. You know, like J-Lo, only it's cooler. This is a nice place you got here. Oh, there's food. Where's the wine? Make room for me. I'm still Jenny from the block.
Welcome to Sephora. My name is Jaymes. How can I help you? Oh my god, thank god this never happened. I can fully see myself though, especially with the hair. Oh my god, me on my lunch break in JCPenney just playing with my hair all day long, eating my sad little piece of cheese pizza from Sbarro. The $3 slice, I'd still be eating it, baby. Oh my god, yeah, this definitely would work in a fantasy. I totally could have worked like this in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I can't tell you I would have lived. I would not have lived. I probably would have been murdered. Again, this is a look that I would have to put on and take off at work. I could not take it home with me. I couldn't leave Southbridge Mall safely looking like this. And that's a really sad thing to think about. But you know what? That's the reality of our situation here. Like, could I have looked like this at Sephora? Absolutely. Could I have left those grounds? In no way, shape, or form. But I remember I used to walk around the mall with makeup on for the most part. And it was usually fine because I worked usually in the mornings when people were in school and stuff. So you weren't getting hassled by like bored teenagers or anything. So it was actually fairly peaceful. And I would have probably made a lot of friends because I was very friendly back then. Believe it or not, I was very nice and very warm and very sociable before I became a permanent YouTuber that never left their house. You know, hermit mode. But yes, I love it. I mean, it's definitely exploring a chapter of my life that could have been. This was the person I could have been. Imagine me at your local JCPenney Sephora trying to sell you eyeliner. I could see it. Maybe I'll go back to this. Someday if I decide to like withdraw from the world, you'll find me in like middle America, Wisconsin, playing with my hair and selling lip gloss at Sephora or Ulta or something. Although if it worked at Ulta, I think I might be a redhead. I think I'd probably be in my redhead phase at that point. And if it was at MAC, fully brunette. Jet black hair, center part, I'd look like a Kardashian. Absolutely. Because that's how it works. You're in an era. Sephora is my pinup era. Ulta, redhead, MAC, Kardashian. That's it. We figured it out. I hope you guys had as much fun with this video as I did doing it. What would your alternate universe self be? I want to know. Let me know down in the comment section. Was there a job that you left and thought about one day, like, what would have happened had I stayed there? Let me know. I'm excited to hear about it. You never know. One of these days, I might vanish and retire into this persona, okay? I'll become a chain smoker, get a raspy voice. I'll become the Queen of Melrose, the Queen of Milwaukee. Yes, you'll talk like this. You understand, back when I used to work at the Strip in Las Vegas, I was a fucking showgirl. Needless to say, I smoked 10 packs a day. I collect thousands of dollars in tips. The cheese curds, they got burned. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta get out of this. Okay, this is enough fantasizing. We're done. We're good here. Also, this beret is killing me. This beret a pisser. I would have put this shit on every morning and thought, oh, am I in a Godard movie? Like, this is fully like a French film from the 60s. The French Connection, it's happening right now. Now, I'd like to take a moment for I should say it in like the Sephora voice. No, I'd like to take a moment for my Wiglets.
Now, a huge thank you to my Wiglets. Jacob, Ernie, Duke, Just BKZ, Vera, myself, Sponge King, Hairface, Steve, So Many Kitties, Jake, JT, Christine, Curtis, Miss Mosey D, Romeo and Juliet, Rosé, Garth Curray, Catalina, Miss Lansing, Maureen, Veronica, Molly, Carl, Dolores, Loreza, Martha, Louise, Harmon, Astro, B-Rex, Matthew, Roger, Tyler, Brian, Margarita, Adam, Samuel, Michael, Becca, Chrissy, Oconee, Eliza, Jason, Katie, JJ, Nisi, Roy, and Doug. Thank you so much, Wiglets.
Thank you so much, Wiglets. Oh god, I sound like Harvey Fierstein. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see you in the live streams. Now hit the outro. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is my oldest surviving brush. This is the brush I actually got from Gratis in Sephora. Like, I still have it. We have a little piece of that era in my makeup case to this day. Just want to point that out. You know, I hold on to some things. Some things are worth holding on to. It's a good brush.
Click here and watch me style a wig from Wigstress from Mistress Isabel Brooks. Or it's the iconic blondes, Marlena Dietrich. Come on, click it, you know you want to. If you don't click it, you're super, super lame. So click it.
Estoy perdida.